Hi everyone and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on Groundhog Day, February the 2nd. First, a little bit of housekeeping, some good news. We have submitted the final version of the 21 Storm Tracker weather app to the Google and Apple stores. It should be in the Google App Store pretty soon, next couple of days probably, at the very latest I would think early next week. The Apple Store process takes a little longer, so you can probably be able to download it on your Apple devices, your iPads, your iPhones, coming up in a week or maybe two. But if you have an Android device, the 21 Storm Tracker app should be available within the next few days. We're real happy about that. I think you'll like the app, and we'll talk more about it, of course, as it debuts. But this is an app that has a lot of human content in it. It's not generated by a computer model, which is what most of your standard weather apps are. They're just computer models. But most of the forecast data in our app will be manually typed in by human beings. What a concept, huh? All right, let's get to it this evening. Not going to spend a lot of time on the current radar because most of you watch this well afterwards, but here's what the radar looked like at about 7:30 p.m. Big severe weather outbreak, as advertised, is ongoing down across the Deep South with several clusters of showers and thunderstorms, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, up into Tennessee, and parts of Kentucky as well. This storm looks much more like a springtime storm with snow on the north, or the northern fringes, and severe weather on the southern and eastern sides. And unfortunately, we've had several reports of tornadoes today down in parts of Mississippi and into Alabama as well. This one in particular, right near the Mississippi-Alabama border near McMullen, was particularly impressive earlier on the radar. Large tornado spotted. Let's see if I can drag this up so you can read it. But there was a large tornado with trees and power lines down, some small hail, and this was about 6:15 our time earlier on this evening. So a little spring preview down in the Deep South this evening. No severe weather up here, but we have had thunderstorms in parts of northwest, central, and southwest Ohio. Notice the lightning strikes here on the last hour loop of Storm Tracker 21. Now the atmosphere is more unstable out west of I-71 than it is east of I-71. But I'm not going to rule out that we hear some thunder tonight. It's a possibility, but not concerned about any severe weather. As far as the future radar, here's the high-resolution rapid refresh model. A little overdone, as usual, on the coverage of the rain, but you get the idea here. It's going to rain tonight. We could start to see showers as early as late this evening up through midnight or so, but it's certainly more likely overnight towards 2, 3, 4 a.m. Pretty good wall of water pushing through, and as you get up tomorrow morning, Just will be showing you an active radar on WFMJ today with rain pretty much in all of our viewing area at the start of Wednesday. The back edge then will start to approach around mid-morning. I think we'll see clearing from west to east, on average probably between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. From west to east is when we'll see that clearing during the course of tomorrow morning. Pretty good rain event, though, especially considering it's the dead of winter. We're talking about an average probably of about a ½ inch to maybe 2/3 of an inch. As far as the rain totals go, our model's in pretty good agreement. They're pretty tightly clustered here, between a ½ inch and 3/4. I think a ½ inch to 2/3 of an inch should about do it. All right, once the rain leaves tomorrow, as we talked about yesterday, we're going to get into this dry sector, this punch of dry air. The sun's going to come out. The wind is still going to be out of the south-southwest. The cold air is still back here. This first front doesn't have the cold air behind it. This is the front that has the cold air behind it out across western Ohio tomorrow evening. So when we're in between fronts and the sun is out, temperatures will be off to the races tomorrow. Then the real front comes through, and it's back to winter on Thursday with clouds and snow flurries and chilly winds and falling temperatures and that sort of thing. Friday looks like a brighter day with more in the way of sunshine. Check out these temperatures, though. Despite the rain tomorrow morning, we're going to start the day in the lower 50s. So with that kind of a springboard, as soon as the sun comes out, we're going to get into record territory. Tomorrow's record high is 55. It's kind of low-hanging fruit. It's actually the lowest record high in all of February in Youngstown. It's our coldest record for the month. So we'll break that pretty easily. I think 60, 61 is going to be pretty common once the sun breaks out midday and early afternoon tomorrow. The front then pushes through tomorrow evening. By 10 p.m., we're free falling really through the 40s all the way down to about freezing by Thursday morning. So again, reality check time for Thursday. And there's going to be wind. There will be some gusty winds in these showers overnight. You're going to hear the windows rattling a little bit in parts of the valley. We could see some gusts to 35 or 40 tonight. Might get a little respite from the wind tomorrow morning. I mean little. But then as the sun comes out and the atmosphere starts getting a little more mixed up tomorrow, that mixing will start to pull down some of the wind energy that's a few thousand feet above our heads, and we could see gusts maybe to 35 to 40 again in the dry sector tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be a blustery day. I don't think we'll mind, though, with temperatures in the lower 60s. In fact, we're going to hang on to the gusty winds right through tomorrow night. All right, as far as the weekend and beyond, let me move my browser down here. We are talking about a pretty quiet weekend overall. We're going to see, here's Friday's map, ho-hum, nothing going on that day. Over the weekend, there's going to be this front that sort of meanders off to our north. Really no impact on us. Maybe it brings a stray flurry Saturday night. I mean, stray. Overall, it just looks like a quiet weekend. There's going to be a storm off the East Coast that is likely to not cause any snow problems for most of the East Coast, maybe Cape Cod, southern New England, but for the most part, this is a miss out to sea. Parts of New England, though, could see the snow heading into Monday, but it'll be mostly Maine, eastern Massachusetts. Now, as we go into next work week, as far as our weather, it's going to get progressively colder. And while there's no big systems being shown on the modeling right now, there will be some flurries, some snow showers around during the first half of next week that we might get nickeled and dimed into seeing an inch or two of snow over the course of a few days with persistent flurries and snow showers. The bigger story is the cold that's coming in the longer range. This is still on track. This is the 5-day period from the 9th through Valentine's Day, the 14th. You see definitely a cold signal here east of the Rockies. This is going to be some of the coldest weather of the winter season. Nothing like we had last February. We're not going to have any mornings where it's minus 15. We're not going to have highs near zero. Nothing like we had last February. But we could have a couple of days or a few days towards the end of next week into next weekend where highs are in the upper teens, lower 20s. Low temperatures could be in the single digits near zero, depending on the cloud cover. So that's still on track for a cold snap late next week into next weekend, but it's also likely only to last a few days. And after that, not much of a signal for cold towards the end of February. The last, say, 10 days of February, not looking that cold at all. So, if you're a winter weather lover, you're not going to love this pattern over the next few weeks, with the exception of maybe a few days late next week and next weekend. And I think snowfall this month, it's not looking real promising. I don't see any big storms next week. We make it nickeled and dimed. And then after that, it's probably too warm of a pattern for much snow. I don't mean no snow, but for much snow. Doesn't look like a real favorable pattern during the second half of February. All right, thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. More geeky action tomorrow evening on my weather blog and on wfmj.com/weather. This video is always online first between 7:30 and 8, and I oftentimes repost it around 10 p.m. in case you missed it earlier. And I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Have a good night.